You approach and find Septem sleeping.
Oh, he looks so precious. He looks so cute.
Okay, so after that adventure with Nulla, what if I try to stay on track and actually do as I'm told and hang out with Septem or Unum? When you settle on the chair, you realize, well, you're not sure what to do or say. So you have 3 options. Let's wait for him to break the ice. You think it's the safest thing to do. Wait for him to start the conversation. Having seen that Septem has serious control problems, you consider it to be your best option. Although you can't think of what to say anyway, so you accept your fate, whatever it may be. I'll get straight to the point. I know a puppet when I see one. You have the same eyes. And I can see that their will tends to override your commands. You don't have complete control. You brace yourself for the worst, that he might gut you or break a bone. But nothing happens. Septem is just watching you. Oh, fear not. Mother does not have access to a sealed place, so she won't punish you.
Hey, I didn't say nothing.
Although his words are intended to calm you down, the effect they have on you is quite the opposite. The level of synchronization they have is not at 100%. You two are not feeling the same, and your reactions tend to contradict each other. If you had complete control, you could interact with this world however you want. A total immersion. Not limited like the one you're experiencing behind that screen.
Hey, you don't address me. My fiancé Nulla addresses me.
I'm sure Nulla has already found out, so we must act quickly.
Or did I actually break the game and now this is irreversibly messed up because I already revealed who I am and I've already devoured a symbol.
You will follow my commands if you want to survive. When Nulla takes out the seal, don't move.
I don't wanna. I kinda don't wanna. You know what? No. Fluff you. I decline.
You feel a presence on your body, and you assume it's Nulla. Suddenly, they appear in the positions they were before. Nulla is standing on one side of the table, and the others sitting. Nulla looks disappointed when asked how it went, and quickly understands that they haven't taken you on as an apprentice.
Aw.
He shakes his head slowly as he looks at you. It's not long before the sound of trumpets is heard at the entrance to the dining room. The other symbols have arrived, and everything becomes chaos where time and space mix.
What?
Preventing you from fully understanding what is happening.
What?
But you're sure of one thing, and that is that they are tearing you apart, little by little.
Oh no!
For some strange reason, you can't help but feel it. You're not allowed to leave this world until the last piece of your body is devoured.
Well, choke on it.
Fingers, arms, legs, not my gams, and feet are torn from your body, then your organs. It hurts, but you can't scream. It burns, but you can't cry.
Ow.
Then your eyes stop seeing.
Okay, who ate my eyes? Who ate my eyes? I specifically asked that no one touch my eyes. My eyes are very sensitive. Give them back.
And all you can do is listen and breathe with difficulty.
Until someone eats my lungs.
You hear laughter and conversations that you can't understand. When it's over, the only thing you feel is Nulla touching your shattered soul.
Aww, my poor little soul.
You can try again, if you want.
Bad end. Devoured by symbols. Oh, all right.
What if I accept? You accept in the hope that you can stay alive and not get my eyes devoured. You'll do whatever it takes to live. You earn a smile from Septem upon hearing your response. Nulla must be about to remove the seal. You nod your head. Not even 3 seconds pass when you feel a strange pressure on your body. You assume it must be Nulla. Am I still gonna get 8? Nulla and the redhead materialize right where you saw them last, Nulla standing on one side of the table, and the redhead sitting next to Septem, as if they had always been there. Septem looks at Nulla with a long face. Noticing this, he speaks faster than usual. I see that you didn't like the gift very much. You could give it to me and I'll tell Mother to exchange it for another one. He sounds anxious. Oh, my poor baby. It seems that it is not of the highest quality. Unum thinks the same, so I suppose the others will think so too. Yeah, listen to him. I'm terrible. All this, it's not delicious. My diet is terrible. I've been doing a lot of exercise, so I'm probably already all tough. I'd probably be horrible. My soul, my eyes, disgusting. You don't want none of that. Nulla begins to approach you with the intent to take your arm. His gaze doesn't leave your figure. There's no need. It will go with me to my domain. Uh-oh. Talk to Mother to bring another gift. I doubt it will take more than 5 minutes. Uh-oh. Nulla! Sorry, but I cannot tarnish Mother's name with such a mediocre offering. Nulla grabs your arm tightly and attempts to talk to you. Play along with me. It's not safe. But Septem stops him by striking Nulla from behind. Son of a... My baby! In a blink of an eye, Septem breaks Nulla's chest. I won't let you ruin it. Get your hands out of my baby! And with disdain, he pushes the black-haired man's body to the side, causing him to fall with a thump. Nulla lies on the ground, coughing up blood. I said I'll take them with me. Unum urgently gets up from the table, but decides not to approach them. Wow, Septem, we're in public. If anyone were to see you... Shut your mouth, Nulla. You can tell the others I'll be busy. Oh no. The terror you feel freezes you in place. It seems accepting Septem's offer wasn't the best idea. But in a way, you thank the gods that Septem's wrath is not focused on you. Although you feel a little bad that it was Nulla. Septem turns around so he can see you face to face, and without explaining anything, he touches your forehead delicately. And your vision blurs. You suddenly stop hearing Nulla's labored breathing and the ambient noise of the dining room. And then give way to total darkness. You wake up to the feeling of falling. And then you realize you're in a warm, spacious bed. The first thing your eyes see is a huge window that is located on the side of the bed. You assume it's daytime because of the light coming in, but it's strange since you can't see anything except the brightness outside the window. Suddenly, what happened comes to mind, and you hurriedly look for any trace of Septem. There's no one in the room with you. Let's investigate this room here. You get out of bed with difficulty. Ooh. The room is disgustingly spacious, and with an atmosphere that reminds you of a hospital. All white, with no traces of any other color. Nothing found here evokes any sense of belonging or trace of personality. It's weird. I see you've already woken up. It's time for breakfast. Septem is near the window, with his hands behind his back. You have no idea where he came from, and it gives you goosebumps. It seems you take more time than necessary to answer him, because Septem grimaces, irritated. Did you hear me?
You nod.
Okay, let's go.
Septem puts his hands together, and the place begins to change. The bed and the room transform into a dining room with the same color palette. You fall into a chair, in front of a table that already has plates and food served. Septem is seated in front of you.
The puppet hasn't eaten anything for more than 24 hours. You must eat, otherwise the puppet won't work properly.
For some reason, although you couldn't explain why, it seems like he was speaking from experience. You don't dare do anything, since Septem hasn't given you permission to start eating, and you don't want to tempt fate.
You can eat.
While eating, you realize something strange, and that is that Septem now does not have that voice that resonates both in your head and in your body. That somewhat unstable and at the same time inorganic voice. It's normal now. You don't think it's a good idea to ask him. It might be disrespectful to talk or ask that kind of thing.
I don't like that we have the puppet interfering in our conversation. But it is essential to be able to connect you to this world. I respect you. Being an entity from a higher plane, you probably have more power than me or Mother combined.
Hey, all I've got is the power of fan fiction.
It could even be very similar to the power of the Creator. Unfortunately, that power cannot be demonstrated right now, since you are only visiting here. You'll probably forget this world when you cut the bond with me.
What was that? A voice slipped into your thoughts. You don't like this.
I need time.
Looking at the way his hair is cut, his bangs are cut, it kind of looks like he has little devil horns. Hee.
Time for what? I need you to explain to me what's happening, or enough. Just do as I say. What? Why would I say that? Time for what, blood? Septem looks at you before answering completely seriously.
Time to change the vessel and become a perfect being. You, Espoir, are what I need.
Oh, so you need my heart soul so you can be a big shot. Got it.
But the more time passes, the more independence your puppet will acquire. And we need their permission to make the change. That will be a problem if you don't know how to control them.
Septem is lying. I would never go against you or disobey your commands. Can I not trust Espoir inside the game? Espoir, I am here to serve you. Don't believe him. Septem lets out a small laugh as he watches your reaction. You arguing with yourself?
You should be more careful. They're already starting to disengage from you. And if that happens, you will no longer be of use to me.
Are you going to give me smooches? Are you going to put spheres in my mouth? I'm sorry, I can't. Are you going to give me kissy poos, Septem? The blonde gets up from the table and examines his hands for a long time.
See you at lunch. Meanwhile, you can roam around my domain as you please.
Okay.
Septem leaves the table, carrying the now empty plates to another place. You assume it must be the kitchen. You wait for Septem to appear again, as you can't believe he would leave you unsupervised and give you a free pass to do whatever you want. But he doesn't appear again. Can I come out of of this place? You stand there, collecting your thoughts, analyzing everything they have told you and what has happened. Septem wants to give you complete control, complete synchronization with this body. But I don't understand what he would be gaining in return. He is not trustworthy. You know what? I agree with you, Espoir, in the game. Let's go. Yeah, you need Nola. Exactly. Let's go back to our sweetie fiancé so we can get married and he can be my husband and I will love him forever. Do you need Nola?
Yes.
I want Nola. Alright, I'll come back to this.
Hopefully I don't forget. I'll come back to this. Let's stay focused. No. You don't need Nulla, even though I really, really miss him. Whatever your answer, you don't know if Nulla is still alive or not. Oh yeah. So you must remain on your own, for now. You spend your time walking through what appears to be a temple. Well, they have a bunch of statues of Septem and paintings with religious allegory. And inside it, you find a bunch of doors. Ooh. Let's investigate those doors. Front door, back door, door on the left, second door, wait until lunch. Front door. You go to the door in front of you. Ooh. You know, Septem, all you really need is some, stained glass windows to reflect the light onto the walls. That would look killer. That would look sick. When you open it, you find that it leads to a hallway. You decide to go there and find out where it leads you. You walk, and continue walking down the hallway. But you feel like you're not moving forward. Although, if you look back, you can no longer see the door you came in through. You continue walking, now paying attention to the walls and decoration of the hallway. It repeats itself after a while. There's no point in continuing. How dare you? You turn around and go back the way you came. It takes you a little while, but you manage to reach the initial door. Alright, back door. You go to the door behind you, which is guarded by two statues with the figure of Septem. You wait for the door to be closed, but incredibly, it's not. Ooh. When you open the door, you realize that it is darker than it really should be. It's not because you're a coward, but you're not going to go in there. Fine. What's on the door to the left? You go to the door that is to the left of the altar. It's locked. You need a key. Find the key? There must be something to open the door. Maybe my swift kick from my boots. Let's go to the second floor. See what's up there. Maybe there's a key. You go to the second floor. You search the whole place, because at first glance there's nothing interesting. In one of the drawers you find a key and several documents that seem important. Ooh. You put the key in your pockets because it seems important. But they're written in a language you can't understand. Is it Espanol? I know very little Espanol. Let's go back to that door on the left. Use that key. Maybe the key you found on the second floor can be used to open this door. When using it, the lock clicks. It's open. Ooh. Inside, you find a room very similar to the one you woke up in today. Dang it, did I just circle back to my bedroom? Oh. The only difference is that someone is lying there. You approach and find Septem sleeping. Oh, he looks so precious. Oh, he looks so cute. Sweet, horrifyingly powerful angelic baby who could, rip my atoms apart or something, but aww. You approach and find Septem sleeping. Seeing your mistake, you try to walk away without making a sound. Why would you leave a key to your room in a drawer? But Septem opens his eyes before you can do anything. Sorry. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. I'm leaving. I'm leaving right now. I intruded. I'm sorry. Who are you? What? Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? What? Doesn't he remember you? Septem quickly gets out of bed to place both hands on your mouth. Don't say his name. That should be Septem ? You try to shake his hands off, but it's useless. We are not in his presence, so please do not summon him. He, seeing that you calm down a little, releases his grip, slowly uncovering your mouth. Where did you find the key? I want to answer, but who the heck are you? Who are you? That's what I want to know. Wait a moment. He comes closer to look at you carefully. He looks you straight in the eyes, and it seems that what he sees takes his breath away. Uh-oh. This is clearly not Septem. There's something different about him. You're also being controlled by a higher being.
Pardon?
They're using you like a puppet. It can't be. The entity that is not Septem takes a few steps back, dejected by the situation. It's the first time someone is inside the temple. The entity that has Septem's body sits on the bed and motions for you to do the same. He looks nervous. Noticing that he doesn't seem to be a threat, you sit down, just to know what's going on. It's strange to see Septem's face with that expression. It even seems cute to you. You can't help but stare at his cute face. At this, he seems to get more nervous. Aw, a giggle escapes you accidentally. What's so funny? He wants to look imposing, but it doesn't work. If he really was Septem, he wouldn't be hesitating like he is now.
I mean, he is pretty gosh darn cute. What's your name, my dear, my darling?
I can't say.
What if you write it down?
I'm not allowed to do anything that reveals my name. If I do, I will die. I think I understand now. He wants to have the entity that is controlling you. Sooner or later, he would replace me. Can I ask you a favor?
You nod, mostly because you want to know what he'll ask you.
He has some documents in the void room. There must be a document of my birth, with my name. Please, look for it. I will give you freedom if you do, and you can escape from him.
Escape? From Septem? It sounds like a good offer.
Gah!
The entity begins to cough, as if choking.
You must go.
Without another word, he stands up and pushes you out of the room. You stare at the room for a long time. You knock a few times, but there's no response. Let's see. What if I tell him he's cute? Tee, just to see how he'll react, 'cause he is.
You just met me, and that's the first thing you can think of to say?
Have you met me? Well, I mean, I guess you haven't.
You're strange.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait till lunch, I guess. You wait for the hours to pass. You doze off, thinking what happened with Nulla and why Septem knows about you. But you find no answer to either of those two questions. Time passes quickly enough to surprise you with Septem's arrival at the altar. You wait for him to speak.
It's time for lunch.
You're tempted to ask why he puts so much emphasis on sharing mealtimes with you. If he's worrying about you eating, then there's no need to sit down and eat with you. You suspect it will be like this your entire stay in this place. Septem teleports you to the dining room again, where the two of you are greeted by the dishes already placed on the table once more. Septem waits for you to start eating before he does. He doesn't seem very willing to have a conversation. But you can't help but think there's something strange about his attitude. Why you got a dude that looks just like you as a prisoner in the bedroom? His aura is not the same as the one he had inside that room. His behavior is totally different. Here, it shows a confident mask, but there, a completely opposite one. Why do you have a different attitude now?
Oh? What do you mean?
You explain to him what happened in the altar room. Oh, I do? The more you explain the situation to him, which strangely he doesn't seem to remember, Septem's face turns red,
and with a serious expression. Oh wait, did we tell him about his little sleeping secret other self? He seems to be holding in his anger. Whoops, did I mess up again? Eep. How did you find it? Dude, you put the key in a you presented me with a locked door, and then you had a key just sitting in a drawer. That's something you should be, like, wearing around your neck or something. That key always stays with me. Oh, okay. Did I find the one time when you had a lapse in judgment? Out of nowhere, Septem grabs your wrists and twists it so hard it breaks your bones. My bones! The crunch of every bone is horrible, and the pain is unbearable, but you can't do anything but cry. For Septem's grip doesn't loosen at anything, not even the hits or scratches you deal him with your other hand. You're like an animal caught in a bear trap. You're so noisy. Septem smiles and cuts off your head. That end,
Better keep quiet.
you know I'm incapable of doing that. Fine, I ain't saying nothing. You don't want to risk your life by asking, so you decide to remain silent. For now. I thought it was obvious that these are two different people. Septem shows no interest in starting any kind of conversation. So you eat in silence. I don't know what that is, but that red sphere looks delicious. Septem eats slowly. He seems totally disconnected from the action, as if doing it automatically. Your eyes have been on my face for a long time. Something wrong? Talk about light topics? I don't know, am I allowed to do that? It's no big deal. It's just that I feel like there's a lot of silence. Does it make you uncomfortable? Don't know. It's not that you don't know, it's just that you don't know what to answer so as to not make him angry, or make him feel like it's disrespectful. You're terrified that you won't answer in the way he thinks is right. Don't worry, you have complete freedom to talk to me however you please. As long as it's you, Espoir, and not the puppet. I am here to serve you. I got some questions. What happened to Nella, my sweet, darling, honey butt fiancé? Septem looks at you with a small smile. He's fine. Nothing he can't stand. You pierced his chest. It was nothing serious. Just a little warning. To kill him would take much more than that. Shame. What do you want, buddy? Septem looks at you with a serious face. Don't be anxious. We'll talk about it later. Who is Mother? Septem sighs. Mother is the garden itself. She's in charge of holding everything together. And we are her source of energy. That's all? How do you know about the bond we have between me and Espoir? That's neat that me is shaking. Septem furrows his eyebrows before answering. Me and Espoir? Are you gonna kill me because the puppet is speaking? Who is me? Espoir, I will be clear. The next time I see the puppet detaching itself from you, I won't hesitate to break it. I don't need another one with a conscience of its own. I have enough with It doesn't matter. After all, Mother can make another vessel. All right. When finished, Septem takes the plates and disappears without first saying that they will meet at dinner. You're already getting bored with the little interaction you've been having. And nothing interesting has happened so far. If you had gone with Unum, well, you'll have to pass the time somehow. Let's see, investigate the doors, stay here. I highly doubt I'll be able to escape. So let's see what happens if I try that. You walk around the entire length of the temple, looking at each of the accessible doors and each of the windows. Several doors lead to the same garden, but you still don't feel confident enough to leave. You try little by little. You walk a few steps after leaving the door. Nothing happens. Then you walk until you touch the grass with your feet. Nothing happens either. You turn back so as not to raise suspicions. You take another walk around the temple, looking through the windows. After a reasonable amount of time, you return to your goal, escaping. You go out through another door that leads to the garden, and this time you run in the direction of what appears to be a forest. So you run. You run so much that you're starting to get out of breath, so you decide to rest in some bushes. In the distance, you see a shadow on the ground. It appears to be a snake heading in your direction. Ah! Holding a scream, you remain completely still. Ah, jeez. And close your eyes. You shouldn't have done that. You don't recognize that voice. It's a hoarse female voice. You instantly open your eyes to see who it is. Ah, ma'am! And what greets you is the figure of an entity covered in a veil and robe-like clothes. She carries a scythe that she lifts high into the sky. Oh, is that the stars one? The one whose name I can't pronounce? Due? And it's the last thing you see. Okay. Bad end, knowing the second. Yeah, I figured. It's fine. Let's see, look for Septem's puppet. Well, we found him. Search the documents. Yeah, let's find these documents. You wonder why Septem has documents that could jeopardize his integrity. You don't really think that finding those documents is an easy task, but you don't lose anything by doing it. You assume the void room is that pitch-black room, so you go there. You take a deep breath and open the door.
It's so dark in here.
You can't see anything. You enter at a slow pace, with great care. You place both hands in front of you to avoid colliding with the wall or any object in front of you. You feel like you bump into something. When you touch it, you realize that it looks like a small table or a desk. You wouldn't know for sure. You try to search for something that looks like paper, but there's nothing on it. You search and search, but there's nothing. That is, until you feel something like a box. But it doesn't open. It seems to have a lock. Does that key do anything? You look in your clothes for the key, praying to the gods that it also works for the box. It's a little difficult for you to put it into the lock, but when you do it... It's been opened. Why would you have a key that opens a super secret box of important documents and also opens the door to your doppelganger other self and just have that in a drawer? You're struggling, Septem, you're struggling. You're working too hard. You reach in and take out a bunch of papers. Which you take. All of them. Yeah, let's look for Septem's puppet. We got the papers, blood. You walk directly to the temple to find the door near the altar. You use the key. You open the door, and there he is, sleeping. Aww. You decide to wake him up. Hello. It's good to see you again. Do you have the documents?
Yep, I got 'em, buddy.
You show him all the sheets you've taken out of the room. Some you can read, but others you can't. They appear to be documents of birth records from various entities. Almost like classification cards, entities with names and ID-type photos. Why does Septem need this? You both look through the documents slowly. As you pass document after document, one catches your attention. The photograph of the entity next to you appears. On the side of the document, his name appears. Raphael. Is that your... Uh-oh. He puts both hands on his neck while having a pained expression.
Yeah.
Well, he hasn't fully responded. You know he's confirmed it to you. That's his name. As he can, he signals to you that you should get out of there.
You have to say it when he offers you the deal. That's when he's vulnerable.
Oh, okay.
With that, he slams the door in your face. So don't need to look for the puppet, don't need to search the documents, find something to kill Septem. Well, we kind of don't need that now. We kind of figured it out. Wait for Septem. Time passes quickly, and this time you witness Septem materialize before the temple altar. By now you've gotten used to it, so you don't get startled. It's time for dinner. Are we going to follow this routine every day? Espoir, were you the one who asked that question? Lying to cover up the puppet. Come on, we're in this together, Espoir in the game.
Yes.
The idea is that the puppets can obtain energy to function properly. Both mine and yours.
Do you have a puppet?
Something like that. Septem begins to approach you. His angelic face is an antithesis to the aura he transmits. Look, I really want you to understand what's happening and why you are vital to the garden's recovery.
Your eyes are so pretty.
And I wouldn't want to omit vital information for your decision making when the vessel change begins. I will implant my memories into the puppet to make it simple. Septem places his left hand on your forehead. You can skip the information below if you're not interested. I think you have something to do with that. Nola once talked about it. The skip button. I think that's its name.
Hey.
In the beginning, everything was darkness, nothingness itself. When the Creator arrived, there was light. And that was where my existence began. Although having light, it allowed us to see the shadows. It was there that we realized the existence of Nulla.
Oh yeah, and null kind of means like emptiness and such.
He who had been in this place before my existence and the Creator's arrival in the garden, waiting.
Oh.
Nulla and the Creator were talking for a long time, and I, being still a being, without knowledge of anything, did not understand them. But I'm sure of one thing, and that is that Nulla seemed to not respect the Creator. He treated them as an equal, raising his voice and even putting his dirty hands on them. Then the Creator gave me the mission to create the symbols to keep the garden running. So that is what I did. On Monday I gave life to the sun, but you know that is Unum.
Oh.
Tuesday was the firmament of the stars, Due. On Wednesday, the earth and the plants were created, Tria. On Thursday, the moon was created. Quator was just as bright as the sun at first.
Oh.
It's a shame the fight Unum started.
Jeez. Snatched out my girl's eyes.
Before putting order, everything was chaos. If only I could have intervened. Maybe Quator would still have her 4 eyes. By taking away 2 of her eyes, the moon stopped shining and now rises when the sun sets.
Aww.
On Friday, all creatures were created, and a symbol was set up to represent them, Quinque.
Cool.
Finally, on Saturday, my dear Sextum was born along with humanity.
Pretty.
Sunday was a day of rest, and I was there all day, watching the garden work. But I did not have a physical body to experience everything I had created. And for a long time, I was like this.
Oh. Pretty!
Until Septem told me about transfusing my existence into a human. Oh, okay. So Septem was the head honcho, and Nulla was already there from the beginning, so they're both really super powerful. Okay, I get it. I'm picking up what you're putting down. But to do this, I had to leave my existence behind and start living as a human. So I did. I instantly realized my mistake. When humans are conceived, they're given a soul that is distributed by the garden or mother. Making the transfusion results in a mixture of the human soul and the essence of the deity that makes it. So, this body is not completely mine.
What do you need me for?
I no longer have control of the garden. After the creator vanished, the garden began to wither. The first sign was the disappearance of the children of Septem, the humans who gave us genuine devotion. In the chaos, Nulla reappeared and filled me in on everything about our world and the creator. Then he taught me of the existence of other worlds abandoned by the creator in a state equal to ours.
Oh, so like abandoned games where the characters are just kind of waiting around while the developer starts work on a new game?
But the difference is that they had humans, so we implanted ourselves in their culture, and we consumed their devotion directly every last Sunday of the month. But with you here, it won't be necessary to continue with this. If we unite in a transfusion, you will grant me the authority to manipulate the garden for myself. No, at our whim.
Me?
We can save this world, can we? And prevent Nulla from destroying everything. Look, none of the symbols knows the sad truth that we are nothing more than a world that pretends to be organic. All they know is that our world is dying. To you, it may be a game, but for me and my people, it is our home. Even though everything is a lie, I want them to live in the best conditions, for the garden to return to what it once was. I want to do everything possible to avoid the inevitable. Now that you know, do you accept the deal?
Let me stop you right there and use my save button.
Nulla wants to destroy everything, but is accepting Septem's deal the right thing to do?
Well, I mean, I will soon be legally married to Nulla, so...
It doesn't seem so bad as you thought. Maybe it's just a bit maladaptive. After all, he does what he believes is right, always following the etiquette and rules because that's all he knows. But on the other hand,
he's kind of a jerk. So, I can accept, I can decline, or I can reject and summon Raphael. I think that is gonna be like the end-all be-all. So what if I say, nah, son, I'm going with my husband, Nulla. Ah! Ha. Septem doesn't hesitate for a single second, making your head explode. Hey! Just pop me like a balloon? Alright, what if I accept? What are we gonna do then?
I accept.
Let's do this!
Septem extends his hand to you, and you take it firmly.
Wait, is this gonna end up with Nulla dying? My baby!
You feel like electricity is running through your body, and Septem's smile grows bigger with each passing second. I'll start with the preparations. In the process of elaboration, you'll have to wait a bit to have this date.
Alright. Does summoning Raphael do anything?
You prepare to say his name, praying to every kind of deity that this works. Well, if not, Septem will kill you,
because he can apparently just explode my head.
I want an audience with Raphael,
What?
Septem falls to the ground, as if an invisible weight fell on top of him as he pronounced his counterpart's name. And you stay there, waiting for something to happen. You'll have to wait a bit to have this date. All right.
I've wanted you since I saw you at the hotel. I love you. I love you. I love you so much.
Man, he's crazy, but you'll like that.
Game? Developer? Stop calling me out like this.